Hey folks, welcome to Boondocks Gun Club. My name's Chad and this is Jonathan. And today we've been asked to give our top 2 concealed carry choices. And a couple of the reasons why we would choose those. Me personally, I'm just a gun enthusiast. I love guns and love pistols and love shooting them. Now Jonathan, on the other hand, he runs this shop and does a great job of that. He has all the credentials that you could ever ask for. He does concealed carry classes. He's very knowledgeable in the guns that he's selling. So if you had questions like that, if you came in here, he would definitely be able to answer those, if not find the answers for you. So Jonathan, what are most of the questions that people come in and ask about concealed carry?
Well, frequently people want to know what I carry and why I chose to carry that. I go off of a few pieces of criteria, such as concealability, comfort, and capacity. And because of that, my normal go-tos are somewhere between a Glock 43X or a SIG P365X.
Okay, and due to your size, neither one of us are very tall guys, about 5'8", 5'9", you're about the same. So, and we're not...
I'm 5'6", 145.
Okay, all right. So the smaller the gun, the easier it is for us to conceal.
Absolutely.
If we get a larger gun, it's going to print, is what they call it, and that may not be what you want. Now, our gun choices may differ when the seasons change. In the wintertime, I could probably conceal maybe a compact opposed to a micro compact, just because I'll have a flannel shirt on or a shirt untucked. But are you feel the same way?
I do. In the winter, things are almost endless, but in the summer, yeah, I might go down to something even smaller than that, like a SIG P238.
238, yeah, that'd be great. I got the 320, and I like that. I got the compact version, and SIG has that interchangeable interior, so it's pretty cool that you can change it to even a larger handle if you wanted to, if somebody has a bigger hand and wants to shoot a larger gun. So sometimes just the season, will help us determine what we're going to carry, and that differs for everybody. If it's 100 degrees outside and you're wearing shorts, you may not want to carry a Glock 17.
No, not at all.
I mean, not at all. But on the other hand, if it's the winter time and you can get away with that, that's more capacity, depending on the state that you live in. But and you may just like and prefer a bigger or larger gun, and bigger guys can get away with that and hide that. So that's a plus for them, not so much for us. And if we tuck our shirts in, that's another difficulty for us to hide a weapon. So what would be the top 3 or to 5 reasons why you would carry, say, the SIG?
So as I see it, advantages and disadvantages. From the factory, the grip length on the Glock 43X is longer than on the SIG P365X. However, you can change it out to a metal magazine, then the Glock could be carrying 15 rounds, so the SIG will actually be more compact, even though they're classified as the same.
So capacity is kind of or grip, which both of those would be one of the 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5.
I can work with about any grip size, but the capacity is something that I can't adapt to. So the more capacity, the happier I am. The SIG is volumetrically more efficient. The magazines are smaller for the same amount of magazine capacity.
Yeah, and so due to the single stack / double stack that SIG kind of came up with, or they were kind of
So SIG uses a metal magazine. Glock has a wee bit of metal, but it's surrounded by plastic. The plastic is thicker. Because of that, the double stack width actually becomes a staggered stack interior space.
Absolutely. Any other, besides the size, obviously, any other reasons why you have chosen the 2 that you've chosen?
Well, the SIG, at least on the X platform, definitely has a better trigger out of the box. Granted, Glock, just like anything else, can be changed, but from the factory, that SIG's easier to work with.
Yeah, do you feel that they both have the comfort or the ergonomics that you're looking for, or one's different than the other?
Well, they both work for me. Glocks are, how should I say?
Perfect, right? Glocks are perfect.
Yeah, which is why they have
They
5
are.
generations of them.
That's what they call them, perfection. They, you know, they've made perfection, and it's true. But not everybody likes the cant, you know, of that handle or, you know, grip.
The grip is kind of it's a polarizing topic. Either people love the grip on a Glock or they hate the grip on a Glock, and there's usually nothing in between. So if it works for you, you'll be happy with it. If it doesn't work for you, then I probably wouldn't fight it. I'd probably just move on to some other option.
Yeah, and I found that to be true as well, because the old Glock knuckle, I just can't get past that. So every Glock that I have, I've modified that. I've had to, you know, do a little bit of sanding in that area just because it leaves a little ridge right there where you're holding it. So yeah, and I don't find any other gun that's kind of like that it's not comfortable in my hand. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to own a Glock because I own a bunch of them, but I am going to say that it just doesn't always feel the best straight out of the box. But yeah, you know, a few modifications
to some extent.
Yeah. Well, why don't we head on over and we'll look at our top 2 choices. Yours may be different than mine may be different than yours, but maybe we got one that's the same, and I think we do. But so we'll head on over there now.
Good.
All right, so we're over here, and we're going to talk about our top 2 choices for concealed carry, or at least the ones that we prefer, we like, and that may be different for everybody. So Jonathan, what's your top choice? What's your choice of carry that you're leaving the house and your go-to?
This would be a SIG P365X. It's actually currently America's most popular handgun. It recently displaced the Glock 19 from that category. You have several options here. You can, of course, change out sights. You can check or add an optic. I personally don't carry with an optic just because additional space, and I'm not the largest individual. I find the firearm to be relatively comfortable. I can get all my fingers on the grip, unlike some of the previous subcompacts in the past.
So you said this is the X because they have there's a whole family of these. There's just the P365 that they started with. Then I think it was the X. Then what, the X Macro?
Well, then there's an X.
XL.
There's also, well, I guess we should say some of the differences are the original 365 is a 10 round magazine. The grip is slightly shorter. The trigger is not a flat faced trigger. The XL, or this is the X model, so we go to the 12 round magazine. The XL adds a slightly longer slide. The advantage there is the sight radius, the distance from the front sight to the rear sight. There are also compensated models that have they do it in an interesting way, slightly shorter barrel, ported slide. That way it reduces the felt recoil impulse. So there's a slew of options for the 365 series.
Yeah. And I have several part of this family, the 365, which that's Jonathan's first choice. And actually, that would be my first choice. Now, I just have the P365, and all the guns have been cleared, no ammo anywhere near us. But I've got like a Hogue grip on mine. My hand's a little, let's say, fatter. But anyway, I like something to grab a hold of, and these are very thin. They're very thin, and I think a lot of people like that. And then I do have the extension, the mag extension on there, so I can get a full grip on that, my pinky included. And a lot of times, just with the flush grip, I mean, you can see right there my whole pinky misses. And a lot of people don't like that at all. They don't feel like they could really control it that well. And you having the X model is almost exactly the same. I bet if we put them out there, they would probably...
going to be the same.
Yeah, same height. Mm-hmm. And that's just with the extension on there, and his is probably the flat mag on there, right?
It is.
Okay. So both of us have chosen the 365 as our, I guess, choice if we're walking out of the house and we're taking something with us. I have literally, and I'm not exaggerating, I have literally had this on me. I carry back here. I don't carry so much in the front, but I do carry back here. I sat down on my lazy boy and forgot that I've had it on me. So that's pretty comfortable. Mm-hmm. If you can sit like that and it doesn't affect you. Now, I know a lot of people will take that off when they get in their vehicle and ride just because it doesn't feel comfortable. But what I learned from the beginning with concealed carry, and you can probably go along with this, when you put something that weighs a pound or two on you and it's metal, it's not going to feel comfortable. It's just, I mean, you have to deal with that. But The alternative is much worse. So we think about those things, size, where you're going to carry, all that good stuff. So that was our number one choice. How about your second choice?
My second choice would probably be a Glock 43X. The grip length is slightly longer. The magazines have a plastic surround, so there's also the potential where you could replace it with just a metal magazine and go from 10 to 15 rounds, in which case there's a definite advantage there. Personally, I find the grip of this firearm to be more comfortable. Everyone's a little different. We still have MOS options, and this also has a Picatinny rail. However, this rail is slightly narrower than some, so you might need to get an adapter, but this does give you additional options to potentially mount a laser or light if you so chose that the 365 doesn't have.
Okay, so the Glock 43X, not just the 43. Once again, just like the SIGs, they have multiple in that family. They're all 365s, but the size starts to vary, whether it's in the grip or it's in the barrel length, and then triggers and stuff like that. But with this one, it is a single stack. Is that correct?
It's a staggered stack.
Staggered stack.
Slightly more awkward, but.
And what does that hold? The
from the factory, 10.
And then just the Glock 43 is 6+1. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then I think they do have, what is the next one? An 8 or 9? So with one in the chamber, you got 10.
So the 43 holds 6 from the factory. You can replace the magazine with a metal magazine and go to 9 rounds. The 43X from the factory holds 10 rounds, and you can also replace that with a similar idea and go to 15 rounds.
Could you get your SIG back up here? I just want to show because the original 365, not the X, which he has here, the original holds 10+1, okay, and then now the X will hold 12. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then this one holds 10. So the 43 only holds 6. So sometimes people are more concerned, or they are concerned about the capacity, mag capacity. Well, I'd like to have 20 rounds in there. Well, we live in Illinois, you can't have 20 rounds anyway, but maybe they want more than 6. Maybe they want 10. Well, you can do that, but then that will increase the length of the handle, or the grip. And so then that's going to print. When you put it on yourself, usually that's what kicks out, and you can see the impression. When you think about what SIG did, is they somehow crammed more shells, more ammo in a smaller package, because you can literally see that as far as the height is concerned, I mean, this one holds more, yet this one is taller, and so there's a difference there. And like I said, it's all up to you and your choice. But some people are very concerned about mag capacity, and some people carry an extra magazine.
I'd say there's never been a time in my life where I've been concerned because I've had too much ammunition. Having not enough might be a concern.
I could see that. I think the size of the weapon, the size of, excuse me, I wasn't supposed to say that. I think the size of the gun may determine whether you carry it or not. If it's just a really large gun and it's so uncomfortable that you don't feel like carrying it, you're probably not.
No, definitely.
If it bothers you, and they call them hot spots, and there's just things that you don't like about it and the way that it feels, you might not carry it. You might say, I'm not going to carry it today. So that might be something else to think about. But I just wanted to show the size difference and then mag capacity difference. And even though this one's smaller, it holds more. So that's a plus for a lot of people. All right, my second choice. My second choice is the Hellcat Pro. They have the Hellcat, and then they came out with the Hellcat Pro, which is, it's got a longer barrel, it's got a little bit longer mag capacity, or more mag capacity, longer grip. I've added, just a finger grip holder there. But besides that, most of it, they're optic ready. I mean, it shoots great. And it is just a little bit taller. It probably mimics the 43X almost perfect. You could see that.
Mhm.
I mean, they almost stand identical. I think maybe the degree on the handle might be different. You know, Glock is just that 2x4 feel. You know, people either, like you said earlier, like it or they don't. They hate it. You can see the ergonomics, and that's when people will say the ergonomics and how it feels in their hand. This compared to maybe the Glock, it just looks different and it feels different, and so there's a lot of things that go into purchasing something like this. And we did talk earlier about coming in and maybe just asking if you could see one of these and then hold them in your hand and then turn around and possibly even shoot one of the range guns that you have, and then also maybe even in some of the used guns. We'd love for you to come on down to Boondocks Gun Club, where fall classes are filling up quickly, and the concealed carry classes, refresher courses, they offer all kinds of things like that. Jonathan has, as I said, he's a big deal around here, so he's got a lot of qualifications, a lot of certificates. There's nothing that he probably can't figure out, if not help you out with. And so come on down to Boondocks Gun Club, located just about 10 minutes away from Springfield here in Buckhart, Illinois.